I wanted to tell you a little bit real quick about the meditation that I just did. I was called off to spirit, which you probably know what I'm talking about. It's that in-between place. It's the place where you're not unconscious asleep, but you're not really conscious either. You're kind of aware of what's going on, but you're deep, deep, deep in meditation. That's where I got called to. And when I get called there, it's like all of the energy drains from my body and I just have to go lay down and go to that place. So that's where I was called to. And while I was there, Mons showed up like he does. And he was starting to talk about my heart chakra, the heart energy center, not about my heart, like whether I have a bad heart or a big heart or a little heart. It's about the energy there. And then he talked about throat. I felt my throat, and then I felt the third eye. And Mons went into my heart, and I felt this sort of stickiness in my heart. And he cleared around it. He just cleared around it. And I went, oh, that feels better. And I didn't have this big heart expansion blow up. You know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But it just felt clear. Like I didn't have any stuff in the way. I didn't have any pain, any blocks, anything. And then he moved up past my throat, which I knew there was something there, and went to my third eye and did the same kind of thing. And then I felt the third eye energy dripping down my face and into my throat. And then it was like I was tilted the other way, and the heart energy was dripping into my throat. And then all of a sudden, point of view shift, and I was inside of my throat, and my guide, Mons, was tearing my throat open, sort of opening my throat, and he pulled out my throat chakra, the energy, and then he started pulling on this root system, and it was visceral. I mean, I could feel, you know how you can feel it when you pull a plant out by the root, you can feel that, you know, as it comes out. It was that sensation. And I kept going and going and going and going and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And oh my God, that root was so deep. And the information I got through all this is we have energy centers in our body, but they're not really we're not supposed to be so entangled with them. They're there to serve us and serve others and to help us express forward is sort of what I'm getting with that. But anyway, he pulled this root out, and then he pinched it off, and he put the chakra back into my throat, and it's like I was inside my throat with the chakra, and I could see this blue light sort of reflecting off of the insides of my throat. It was really cool. So when we get so embroiled with our own stuff, like communication for me, the throat chakra is kind of a big one for me. I mean, you know, if you know me at all, you know I'm a big communicator, talk a lot, I write a lot. It's what I like to do. So it's part of my ego identity. It's part of how I identify myself. And that's what he was referring to, is pulling that root out. It's like, you don't have to make this an identity. It's not yours. Our chakras, our energy centers, not really ours, our physical bodies. They're in the way that we think of ourselves as like, I am. It's a spiritual piece. You know, it's there as to help and to serve, really there to serve.